Your name is?
Jack Gordon.
Mr. Gordon. Good. Well, Frederica used to work for Mrs. Lippman. Did you know her?
No, Oh, wait. Was she a great big fat person?
22-minute podcast. 22-minute podcast. Don't want to take up much of your time. Just gonna read some headlines. Stuff.
Welcome to the 22-minute podcast. My name is Wes Sievertson, and today's Thursday, May 22nd.
It's a Thursday.
Yeah, it's a Thursday, and I'm here with...
My Woo Day.
Oh, that's
Woo,
right.
good
It is
for you.
James Woo.
James
I
is
forgot
Woo
about
Day.
that. I forgot. You know, we I mean, should you introduce every Thursday, James? Just because you're going to have the energy that we need. No, I'll throw it to you. How about that?
Okay.
So blah, 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 reverse. Welcome to the 22-minute podcast. My name is Wes Sievertson. Today is, what is it, James? Woo! Thursday, May 22nd.
Yeah.
That's James Woo Day.
James Woo Day.
So let's see. On James Woo Day, congratulations, May 22nd, for being James's Woo Day.
Thank you.
Let's see. What did you hold in your past? On this day in the year 337, that's right, not 13, 337, Constantine the Great became on his deathbed?
Became on his deathbed, yep.
Dude, I bet that felt kind of cool. You know what I mean? Like, on your deathbed, you're becoming. I'm becoming.
I'm becoming.
No, but, yeah, on his deathbed, the first Roman emperor to be baptized in the Christian church. Yeah, man, Constantine is a pretty heavy reason that America is this weird, like, Christian poisoned country. The world in general, obviously,
Yeah.
but yeah, I mean, if you want to blame a guy, start with him.
Constantine.
We could all be like real cool, like pagan bros, like they are in like
If only.
Iceland or not Iceland, like Switzerland and Sweden and shit. But
Can you imagine?
I kind of can,
Yeah.
a little bit. I read a lot of books where I try to, which is probably not good, but
I don't know.
maybe it could pay off. We'll find out later.
We'll circle back.
Constantine too.
Right.
Ooh.
Honestly, Constantine has a lot of fluff, but there's a very strong movie in there.
Yeah, I agree.
But there
I
are
like
some.
Tilda Swinton.
Yes, very much. But there are a lot of scenes and lines from that movie that are like, oh, this is early 2000s, isn't it? So it's tough.
When is the last
mean
time you
Shia
watched
LaBeouf?
it?
I've seen some clips.
Okay.
What'd you say, James? Sorry.
So what do you mean, Shia LaBeouf?
There's some of the banter between like I've seen between like Keanu Reeves and Rachel Weisz where I'm like, this doesn't feel necessary
Oh,
to
yeah.
any story that you could be telling right now.
Yeah, there's a couple
but
parts
it does
where
have
you're like,
crazy eyes in it.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
John, what is his name again? I'm blanking.
I can't fucking remember.
Superman's dad.
Yeah.
He's my favorite. You know what?
Yes.
I really do need to take time to rewatch The Legend of 1900, and not even for the first time. Like the first time I rewatch it, I'm not taking any notes. I'm just going to enjoy it.
Yeah.
Not that I won't be thinking of shit, but anyway, because that's going to be very soon. We got to get the video shop going.
Yeah.
And that's going to be one of my I think one of the ones I wrote down on a list to do first. On this day in 2011, one of the deadliest tornadoes in U.S. history struck Joplin, Missouri, killing 160 people. They were just rednecks.
I think it was.
Well, they're just
God.
soccer fans, right?
Yeah, just soccer fans. Yeah, I mean, if God wanted them gone, what are you going to do, man? I don't know.
It was his will.
Yeah. I was going to say her, but let's be honest. We're speaking from a redneck perspective. His will.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Tornadoes are crazy, dude.
They are. I was actually fascinated with tornadoes as a kid. I'm sure like a lot of kids were, but I was able to buy one book from the book fair when I was as a child.
As a child.
And it was a tornado book.
Nice.
And so I read about tornadoes and stuff. There wasn't a lot of information though. It was kind of
Just like a lot more
generic-
pictures.
A lot of
Kind of
pictures,
a
which
rip.
was cool. And like you did learn, like, hey, bodies of water or like hilly areas, the generic stuff that we
Yeah.
all know at this point. And it's kind of like, honestly, when you do go to an article that clearly is just like a clickbait article, and you're like, yeah, I kind of knew all of
Right.
this. You just were able to frame it in a weird way that seemed like you needed to make a little book and sell it in Scholastic Book Fair. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
But I liked the pictures.
Yeah.
And the holographic rulers.
Dude, that's also true. that they were. That was the thing. Is like again, we talked about it before. As a kid who was told no often, all the free shit was so special.
Yeah.
So special. I'm holding on
Free.
to that. Bookmarks. Bookmarks for free.
Yeah.
James.
You had to buy one.
Whoa. Denton County needs to chill charging kids for bookmarks. I mean, obviously,
Everything was for sale, bro. They
I-
gouged
But you're
us.
just talking about at the book fair, though.
well, I'm-
right.
I guess so. I mean, I guess so. I guess I'm
But,
remembering.
but I do remember
free
bookmarks
at the
library,
library.
though. Yeah, where
Oh
Thank
yeah.
you. Thank you. Yes.
For sure.
Yeah. At the
Not the cool holographic ones though.
they had a couple. You know. Over like the 12 years that you're the, I mean 6 years, sorry, that you're there. I remember there
I
being.
definitely feel like bookmarks got cooler.
That's
later
what I'm
on.
saying. Yeah, I think they got cooler. I mean, they were originally just like very flimsy paper, like with like one tone of
Say
ink.
no to drugs.
Yeah, stuff like that. But then eventually, yeah, I remember there being like race car ones. Like, why would you want a race car?
I'm gonna rip through this book.
Oh yeah, like in the
Okay.
shape of a race car.
Yes, exactly. I think that's true.
This has been
actually.
die cut.
See, Mike actually knows. That's a die cut right there. They had to do a.
Whoa.
What do you have to do first? Right?
Case
You have to.
you're-
The reason it costs money, like, because you have to actually do like a. You have to get.
You,
what's
lay it
called?
out.
What's it called? The first like. Isn't the die cut like? Is that a thing? You call it like, oh, we got to do that first, and then we can do duplicates of it or whatever.
A die cut is just the process of cutting it out into a shape.
What am I thinking?
I don't know.
Like, okay, say you're doing screen printing, right?
Mm-hmm.
To be able to get the image onto a shirt, what is that thing you have to create before you can screen print?
Oh,
A cast.
Yeah, I guess that's a
It's-
good comparison. There's a different word, but
Yeah.
right, it would be like a cast of it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's the word I'm trying to think of, guys.
Word.
Email me, 22menpodcast@gmail.com. Okay, on this day in music history, on this day in 1980, Diana Ross, her 11th, she's still alive, bro. Her 11th studio album and best-selling album of her career, Diana, is released with the bangers Upside Down and I'm coming out. I want the world to know. Yeah, that is a fucking.
Yeah.
Try not to like
Slaps.
skip to that. You know, like just to get a little. You can't. It's impossible.
Pick
You know
a
what?
flower to that. You know what I mean?
That's. Why is it? I hope that song comes back. Like all these random songs come back for whatever reason, probably because licensing and all that.
Oh, right.
I want I'm Coming Out to come back around. You know, but like in a real way. Like I want Tom York to cover it.
Ooh.
No, I'm just that'd be so
that would be
funny,
really
dude.
interesting.
He'd do it in a way that you'd be like, yeah, it's Tom York. You know?
No, it's so. But like, if he can do it like super poppy and like high,
That would be fun.
Yeah.
If he actually was like, no, I'm gonna do this poppy and fun, instead of like, you know, instead of that kind of shit.
Which way are you
I'd be
looking
all
at,
right with
Tom?
Paul Banks doing it.
Paul Banks. Who's Paul Banks?
Interpol.
Oh, okay. So yeah, that's a good example of like, kind of, not low energy, but like it's like this melancholy vibe with a good pace, good energy, like
With
it,
like a buzz on it.
yeah, a
like,
pushing, good pushing buzz pace to it. Anyway, it'll never happen. On this day in 2001, I definitely had this record. Phoenix. Do you even say Texas or do you say TXs? You know,
Yeah,
Phoenix
I don't know.
TX.
I don't know.
Phoenix TX. Their second record, La Chuza, is released, produced by Jerry Finn. I don't think that had my favorite song by them, but I definitely had this record.
Mhm.
I think it was their first.
I think it was their first.
Yeah. And I can't remember what it sounded like. I think that song was on a Dave Mira.
Oh, that sounds like
Uh,
something it would be. We could.
Dave Mira too.
Maybe
BMX
yeah,
too?
I think that's correct.
I had that on Game Boy Advance.
You know,
Nice.
I read. Dang it! I read.
was
I
sick.
read the reason that game will never get like a remaster the way that Tony Hawk is getting a remaster.
It's
And-
because he's dead.
Partially, I think that's true.
Okay.
But it's also because the company that did it like went out of business or something.
Oh, it's
I-
like weird legalities behind who has the rights to it.
Exactly
I
because
thought
of
it
his
was Neversoft or whatever that did it.
I don't remember. I don't think so.
I thought it was the same as Tony Hawk shit.
I think it. I think it was like people who
Maybe
were.
the same publisher.
I think it was people who some people were involved with the original, Tony Hawk or whatever. But I don't think it was. I don't think it was Neversoft. I'd have to look it up again though. So you may be right. But I do think there is some affiliation because it was the same like mechanics or whatever, and it was based off of that, which I think was originally based off of like the game you would play at like arcades or like the movies or whatever, where you actually stood on the skateboard
the board.
and you went downhill. I think that was actually the first thing that company did.
Interesting.
I'd have to look that up
That's
again.
cool.
Though. If it's true, I'll have to try to
Cool
verify.
if true.
All right. Well, hey, lights, camera, action. Ooh, okay. On this day in TV and film history, 1985, Rambo: First Blood, Part 2. Wow, I've never really thought about that before. I'm sure that plenty of people have observed. It's a completely different movie. You do not need to call it First Blood Part 2.
Right.
Just call it a different thing. Anyway, whatever, Stallone. Also on this day in 1985, A View to Kill, Roger Moore and Christopher Walken. Yeah, fantastic James Bond
Is it not
film.
A View to a Kill?
I don't know, actually. Yeah, if it is, I wouldn't be surprised.
If it's
I
not
think
what I'm saying.
Duran got some shit for that.
Well, I think they did the theme for it.
Yeah, I think they got an award for it on something.
Ooh.
I don't know. I don't know if it's A View to a Kill.
It could be.
Again, hey, I'm over here setting myself on fire. Google doesn't exist. On this day in 1987, Ernest.
Yeah, it is A View to a Kill.
A View to a Kill. Yeah. James, you come in here disrespectfully
Coming over here.
to my house.
You do it again.
You do it again. I'll stab you in the face with a soldering iron.
I watched a cool thing about A View to a Kill though.
Okay.
The stuntman. So in the movie, Roger Moore like runs across alligators.
Oh,
Yes,
yeah.
Right. Oh, I
so
think
that
I've seen this. Yeah.
stuntman actually did that shit.
Yeah.
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 And he had to do it like fucking 8 times.
Yeah, and he fell. I remember they were nipping
Yeah,
at
they
him.
like the second to last time they got his foot or whatever. And
Here's the thing, though. I'm positive I could find. I can get you
a crackhead
I
to
can get.
do
I
this.
can get you a toe, dude. Yeah, no, I'm positive I can find you at least 5 dudes, and it probably
I'll
wouldn't
get you
even.
toe by Tuesday.
Yeah, it probably wouldn't even take me like 48 hours to find 5 dudes who would try to run across alligators for like $150 or something.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, the views, it's all about the views.
Exactly. Yeah. Can I use it for my own content? Yeah, but after we release the movie, so.
Dude,
that's
swamp
how
people
it works.
probably do that for fun.
That's what I'm saying, man. It's not like if you've got the money to like, hey, listen, literally we need you for an hour and a half. We'll pay you $150. We'll pay for your Uber, and we'll pay for a meal for you.
But you could die. You could die.
Well, yeah, you obviously got to sign this. Yeah, come on.
Thing that says, I know what I'm fucking doing.
Yeah, we're all here. We're all adults.
you're gonna do
You
it or
are
not,
an adult,
asshole?
right? Okay, good. What'd you say, James? Sorry.
So you're gonna do it or not, asshole?
Exactly. So you're gonna do it or not, kid? I'm sorry,
you want
adult.
the McDonald's voucher or not?
yeah.
Is this
Dude.
your homework, Larry?
It's so funny because there was like an article the other day that it came out and it was just headlined like bullying, long hours, low wages, the film industry's dying. I was like, it's literally always been like that, dude. We're more and more finding out how much even like actors that we know by their face, like so evident, like they can't hide, and yet they still sometimes only make. I say only. It's becoming more and more sympathetic that they only make like $400,000 for a movie or something. Again, not sympathetic. It's that weird thing where it's like, oh no, we thought every movie star at this level was like a millionaire, like over and over and over and over again. It's like, no, that's really just like McConaughey, DiCaprio,
Brad Pitt.
yeah,
Fucking.
they're getting
yeah.
paid $10
Denzel.
to $30 million, depending on the movie.
Jim Carrey.
But but yeah, man. I mean, like, what's a good example? Even like, I'm sure Kirsten Dunst is a fantastic example of someone who like their value has gone up and down over and over and over. So even though she's royalty, like, is she getting $1 million per movie?
Right.
Is that? I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if
Well,
that
she
was.
is a woman.
I mean, it's also a good example or a good point. But I'm just saying, like, that would be interesting if someone like Kirsten Dunst gets to the point where it's like literally you cannot pay me less than $1 million. That's the point. And I'll take only $1 million depending on what the movie is. Or obviously she can decide what, like, make deals with directors that she likes and scripts that she
Probably
likes.
Jennifer Aniston. Claus.
Right. Somebody. So you're probably right. Some actress finally got to the point where she was established of like, don't even call her phone if you're not going to pay her $1 million or however much, and it became the Aniston clause. Well, hey, we can get Penelope Cruz, but she's got an Aniston clause. Oh, what is it? It's like that kind of deal.
All right, we'll pay it, but she has to respect the no bra.
Yeah, she's got to let them hang. And we will have her wearing percolate. We will have her wearing linens. On this day in 1987, Ernest Goes to Camp.
Woo!
I mean, just a fine
Ernest
piece of
P. Worrell.
R.I.P. Jim Varney, one of my
Right.
childhood heroes.
100%. I'm way more an Ernest guy than I ever was a Pee Wee guy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
100%.
His humor is just way more dry and kind of,
Know what
like
I mean,
like
bro?
that southern kind of dry,
That charm.
Yeah.
He had that charm.
while also being a complete idiot.
Yeah.
And it's just
I
fantastic.
just like that they break the fourth wall in the movies.
Yes.
Like every scene.
yes.
He turns and talks to, well, I don't know if I should do this.
Does he actually do that in Scared Stupid? Is that the?
yeah.
He
I
does?
love
Okay.
Scared Stupid.
And Ernest
Jesus.
goes
That's
to
the best
jail.
one.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah,
Ernest goes to
Goes
jail.
great. Goes to the Army's funny or Africa's
Yeah.
funny.
He does go to Africa. He does go to the Army. He's been everywhere, man.
Yeah. Honestly, yeah. I just something like you said, just way more charming than with like. I mean, I like the eeriness of Pee Wee's Great Big Adventure or whatever. And there's something very visceral about a lot of those moments, almost like whenever you're watching like Ren and Stimpy or something.
Oh, sure.
But I just connected way more with the clown that was Jim Varney.
Yeah, Jim Varney and Robin Williams were boys.
Dude, that makes so much sense.
Man, that's
Well, Jim
the
Varney
best
was
thing I've
a
heard in a long time.
Shakespearean trained actor. Like
Oh,
he
was he?
spent his 20s and his 30s like
No way.
doing all theater and school and shit. So, no, he was a real actor. And sometimes real actors find themselves playing the best clowns,
Yeah.
And then they're like, why did I do this to myself? For the money. That's right. Okay. On this day in 1992, Johnny Carson made his final appearance as the host of The Tonight Show. Dude, that's an interesting line of like, if you were alive when Johnny Carson was still
Yeah.
on the air,
Yeah.
you're old.
Yep.
Well, welcome to it. On this day in 1992, Alien 3, or it's one of those things where you're like, oh yeah, Salvador Dali, he died in like 1804. Like, no, the fool died in the 70s. So it's either or there. I'm not sure. Are you old, or do we just kind of picture Johnny Carson as like having been off the air in the 70s himself, kind of thing? I don't know the history of late night. Call me.
Give me a ring.
Yeah, 973-373-37777.
Shut the fuck up.
On this day in 1992, Encino Man is released, starring December 3rd birthday having Brendan Fraser.
That's so lucky you guys share that.
I know, right? And then also the
Love that
Weasel.
movie.
Yeah,
The Weasel.
the Wiz. And was it Sean Astin?
Yeah.
Okay, was it Sean Astin? I'm blanking.
Yeah, it
Yeah,
was Sean Astin.
Sean
Yeah,
Astin.
yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
cool.
He's the one who's digging the pool.
That's correct. Dude, that's actually a really fun movie.
Yeah, it is.
There's obviously some problematic bullying and
Uh-huh.
and probably some misogynistic, a little too forward coming on to high school.
The bully is perfect though.
He
bro.
is. That's probably kind
like
of
when he's like when Sean Astin's daydreaming about his girlfriend or whatever, the
Yeah.
bully's girlfriend.
yeah.
And he just leans into the frame and goes
Right.
Like I've never laughed harder in a movie.
Is that at the hockey game? Am I remembering that correctly?
No, they're in class.
okay. Shit. I mean, there's just so many iconic scenes from that movie.
No, it's true.
And then the same character, Brendan Fraser's same character, shows back up in I think Son-in-Law.
Yeah, it is son-in-law.
Yeah.
That's right.
Anywho, all right. On this day in 1996, Mission Impossible, which supposedly is about to wrap up.
Yeah. Oh, really?
Well, Tom Cruise won't confirm it. Well, he
Like-
won't confirm that this is the last.
Okay.
Uh,
It's gotta fucking be. The way
He's made
everything's
like 14 of
laying
these
out.
fucking things.
Right, and yes, the way that they've manipulated the entire narrative, even going back from the first film, to retroactively fit into the conclusion that they've been building up to,
Yeah.
it makes sense.
I mean, like 30 years in the making, right?
yes, and it's a much better working up to it than the Bond movies did.
Yeah.
So it would kind of be really taking opportunity.
Fucking John Renault's in the first one too.
That's right. Same thing with Bond. I would love to see Tom Cruise give it 20 years and then do like an old man version of it where it's way more espionage of
Where he turns into the John Voight.
oh, okay. I mean, that would be fun as well.
Oh, that would be neat.
Either way, do something like that. On this day in 1998, a Millennial Edgelord movie, if I've ever fucking heard, seen, and loved one. Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas is released. On the same 2008, Indiana Jones and the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull was released, which began a very weird argument, contentious argument of like getting inside of a lead-lined refrigerator and being blown miles away by a nuclear blast. Is that the same as Indiana Jones in the first movie climbing under a truck and being dragged as he's being dragged on the ground underneath the truck and he like climbs his way all the way to the back? And is that the same thing? You know what I mean? Are we saying, hey, it's a movie and neither of those things make sense? Neither of those
Is
things.
this the one where it was aliens?
Yeah.
Yeah.
John Hurt, baby.
Yeah. I like it. I don't care.
Yeah,
I don't
I agree.
care anymore. Maybe
Kiss
I'm
of Kate Blanchett.
I
dude.
get it
Come
because
on.
like aliens is like a more
as like
real
a Russian.
thing
Yeah.
than
Terrifying
the magic
red
of the
ants
other
in
ones.
that film.
and aliens.
Yeah.
No, it makes sense to go that next step with it. It was just shocking because Spielberg had never made Aliens bad yet. Or no, he did, but it was with War of the Worlds.
Looks like you brought a knife to a gunfight, kid.
And we have time for one birthday. What do you want to do?
Oh wait.
It's 08's birthday, Brooke Smith. Oh my God, I want to know why she was so high on IMDb's list.